Hello, Jack Armstrong here, and I am on the Basketball Potters podcast.
I was actually wondering too, so like after you did all those commercials, has anyone like reached out to you to be in a movie or anything like that or a show or anything?
If you know anybody, let me know.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, I thought it was like something that came along with it, you know, you're like in the commercials and be like, "Oh, I guess he's good for TV, good for movies
There
or
you
whatever."
go. Count me in.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
Well, I mean, you got all your accolades for it, like all the awards you've won and all that for your commentating. So, I mean, that's all you got to show them. I'm sure you're
Yeah,
good, right?
that'd be great. Count me in if we could do
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Thank you, Aaron. Thank you, Sebastian. Happy to be on Basket Potters, and honor and thrilled to be here. You know, I like to look at things in totality. So, you look at the first 25 games, they're 15 and 10. Did anyone think at this point in time they'd be 15 and 10? I don't think many people would have signed up for that. So to me, I'm positive. I'm optimistic. Every team, every organization hits bumps in the road during the course of the year. It's how you manage them. Clearly, not having RJ Barrett in the lineup, and actually, it's a lot longer than expected that it was going to be, has clearly thrown them for a loop. They're struggling. They're at the bottom of the league right now in terms of offensive productivity, efficiency, output. And I'm not saying R.J. Barrett is Oscar Robertson or Michael Jordan. I am saying, though, that he's a guy that was putting up close to 20 points a game for you and doing it in a relatively efficient way. And he's your best option in terms of when the clock breaks down, in terms of the creativity element, and a guy that really got your fast break going. So without him in the lineup, you go from being a good offense to right now something that isn't. So that's a concern. And as you know, when you're not that efficient offensively, it puts a dramatic amount of pressure on your defense to come up with more stops and more stops and more stops. And sooner or later, you break down and you can't keep up with your opponent. And that's what's happened. I also think that this is a team, to their credit, that spent an incredible amount of time, and I give the organization a lot of credit for this in terms of their willingness to commit resources, for this group to be together a lot between last April and now. And to me, I think they had an edge coming into the season that I don't think a lot of people spoke about. And that edge was they were going to hit the ground running, and a lot of teams really weren't at that point yet. That it takes a few weeks, it takes a month, 6 weeks to hit your stride. So I thought they had the benefit of something that a lot of other teams didn't have, and they took advantage of it. So are they the team that won 10 in a row that's going to go on another 10 game winning streak? Maybe, maybe not. Are they the team that's lost 5 out of 6 without RJ Barrett? I'm not sure that's the case either. Do I think this group has a chance to have a good season? Yes, I do. The NBA Cup is something that I think after a few years now, this is year 3, I might be nuts. I kind of like the concept with the courts, and it's something different. I just think I would like to see it more condensed, where it's in one part of the season, and our entire focus as a league is on the fact that we are in the Emirates NBA Cup, meaning that it doesn't get spread out over a course of a month. And people like, is this a regular season game? Is this a cup game? I think it's confusing for fans. Look, it's a made for TV event. I get it. The NBA sold it, and I totally get it, and I support it. I think it's a great concept. I just think we need to tweak things a little bit and improve how we do it. Does that mean? And the other thing, I mean, speaking selfishly, I think it's hard to do it during the holidays. Uh, I don't know if you get as much attention from people. Uh, plus, like now rescheduling games and it's hard to get people to get to the arena, know when the
Yeah.
games are. Um, I just kind of think it's difficult. I think they got to look and say, okay, here's a 2 week period in November or January or whatever it is, and we need to go all cup all the time, first, last, and everything in between, and hype it up beyond belief, and just do it then. And look, I know there's considerations where in the United States you're dealing with, uh, college football. You're going head to head. Most importantly, the NFL, and you want to make sure you're maximizing the eyeballs and the ratings. I get all that, but somehow, some way, I think we need to improve that element of it to make it a bigger deal. I like the idea, and I want to see it succeed. I just think that greater minds than mine will figure that out. And I also think it's put a lot of pressure on teams. We've played a ton of games so far. What is today's December 8th? We've already played 25 games. So, there's been a lot of injuries in the league as well. So I don't know. They just got to figure something out that makes it more uh, reasonable and successful. In regards to playing the Knicks, obviously the Raptors announced earlier today, this being Monday, December 8th, that RJ Barrett would be reevaluated in another week. So that makes it more difficult in terms of not having him in the lineup. I'm not sure what Jamison Battle's status is going to be tomorrow night, but clearly, they're going to have to search for answers a little bit. The Knicks have a few injuries as well. Carl Anthony Towns didn't play Sunday against Orlando. McBride got hurt during the game. He had a big game the first time the Raptors and the Knicks played a week ago Sunday in New York. So that impacts their, Deuce McBride, their shooting and their pop off the bench. So both teams don't come into this uh, with nothing that they're concerned about. Plus, we got to see if the Knicks are a good road team. Their schedule so far has been heavily loaded at home, and good for them. They've taken care of business. But I'm curious as the next guy to see how good they really are. We'll find out when they go on the road and they got to play in a hostile environment like Toronto on Tuesday night, whether they're that good. I mean, I think they're good. I think they're legit. Based upon what I've seen from Cleveland so far, uh, they've had their issues. They were the best team in the East last year. Obviously Indiana had the injury to Halliburton. They've had tons of injuries. Boston had the Tatum injury, and then they had to clean house because of cap issues. Boston's been terrific. Uh, you know, so you look around the East and like, who's the real contender? Orlando ended up getting Desmond Bain, but they've had injuries. They haven't really hit their stride completely. And Atlanta, everyone thought they were going to be really good. And quite frankly, they're playing better without Trey Young than they did with him. So I think it's kind of like the AFC and the NFL right now, which you're like really, who is the team? And I'm a
Yeah, it's really
Buffalo
bad.
Bills fan, and I'm as confused as the next guy. But, I think in the East right now, the Knicks, I guess, they were in the conference finals. Are they that team that's going to get to the NBA Finals? We'll find out in games like tomorrow night if they're really legit
For real.
as a
Yeah.
as a road team.
All right. So another question too. So we're asking early season awards. Like, who do you think right now would be the MVP? Who would be the defensive player of the year? And also, do you have any early finals predictions in your opinion?
Well, you got to go with Oklahoma City from the finals perspective. They've
Yeah.
by far been the best team, and with that mindset, if the best team, I would say Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, Luka Doncic, Jokic would be three of the top guys that would be on the top of the list right off the bat in terms of MVP. I'm gonna be partial. I'm not being a shill. I'm not being a homer. I tell
Yeah,
you what, I haven't seen a guy in the NBA defend better than Scotty Barnes this year. I think that
true.
guy's been amazing. He guards all the positions, on ball, off ball. He's been a terror. He's been great. Right now, to me, I mean, he's been not only all defense, he's been as good as they come right now in terms of a defensive player in the NBA. So, um, and again, I'm not saying that because I do Raptor games. I'm saying that because I watch all the teams, and right now, for a guy as versatile as him, he's as good a defender as I've seen this year.